Hey guys, Karen Butler here with the KB Experience, giving you your momentum you need to move and groove daily. And today we are discussing love bombing, one of the mechanisms that's used by narcissistic or mentally disturbed sociopaths or abusive people, emotionally abusive people. And we're focusing in on narcissistic behavior. And love bombing is one of the main characteristics that you can tell that you're dealing with a narcissist. And it happens very early in the relationship. And you can be very deceived by this particular attribute. However, I'm going to show you a couple of things, and we're going to talk about, I think, about 8 of them, attributes and signs to look for during the love bombing stages and what it does to you. Love bombing is a stage when you first meet a narcissist that they just shower you. You're everything. They tell you how beautiful you are, how intelligent you are, how you are their soulmate. They've been looking for someone like you, and they just engulf all of your life. They call, they're there. They are 100% in the game at this time. They are only focused, and that direct attention is solely on you. Because it's a manipulation, they spend an absorbent amount of time focusing and working on you. And what they're essentially is setting up for you are mechanisms that's going to trigger you later at a later date. And basically those mechanisms, we're going to go and talk about a few of them. The number one trait, or the number one thing that happens during the love bombing stage, is you're disarmed. You're totally disarmed. And what this does is you're thinking, it's one of the second things, and I have to go into the second one to talk about the first one, but it's emotionally disarming you. You're told everything, you're mirrored, everything you like, they like, every place you want to go, they want to go, and you're feeling just like you've met your knight in shining armor. It's like, oh God, what did I do to deserve this person? Because it can be male or female. What did I do? And you're just thanking God that you've, really found that particular one person, and everything, every desire you want, that narcissist is going to feel that desire for you. And during this time of love bombing, it's a very important time for the narcissist because he's setting a trap. He's trapping you at this time. He's paying attention to what you like, what you don't like. He wants to disarm you. That's the first step. In disarming you, you will open up and divulge information that you normally wouldn't do, but because you're feeling safe and secure with this person, you are giving him all of the inside emotional intel that he needs to pick your life apart later. So at this point, it's a bonding period. Remember, you just met him, you're bonding. He's going to tell you some things that may not be true. He's going to tell you some things, and you're going to open up and you're going to just let him in your life because he has totally disarmed you. You're going to tell him about past relationships. You're going to tell him about childhood traumas. You're going to tell him about previous relationships, children issues, everything, because you're feeling like this is your soulmate. He's the guy. He's everything. In actuality, he is a computer and a robot, and he is calculating and he is recording for later use to use against you everything you say and everything you tell him. So at this point, he's disarming you. Because normally, just meeting a person, you wouldn't divulge this much information, this much personal information. But he makes you feel close to him. He makes you feel loved. He breaks down those barriers in the beginning. He gives you gifts. He showers you with flowers. He has listened intently, very deep, to what you want and what you need, and he has become that person 150%. So it feels good. It releases dopamines in your head, in your brain, and these dopamines feel so good. You are craving it. You begin to become addicted to needing that from them. Another thing that it does is it it sets a trap. I call it a one-sided emotional bonding. It is totally one-sided. Although your particular person, whether it's male or female, it's going to be telling you some information. You're going to be divulging more information than they're going to be telling you, because they're there for a mission. You're there for love. You're the one that's there with your whole heart put in this relationship, and they don't have a heart. They are calculating and manipulating every move from the beginning you meet a narcissist to the end when that narcissist walk out the door, even during the time when it comes down to they become to discard you. They are still calculating and manipulating your move in the discarding and in the dismantle of the relationship, because they know it's going to come. They already know. It's a cycle with them. They do the same thing at relationship after relationship. Every relationship a narcissist had always ends and starts the exact same way. So they knew that at one point in their life or one point in the future, you are going to leave them, just as the others have. So in the beginning of this relationship, which we're talking about love bombing, they're finding out what your emotional deficiency is. Whether it's eating, whether it's drug addiction, whether it's sex, whether it's shopping, they're going to feed you whatever your emotional addiction is. They're going to find out what it is. If it's a missing parent, if it was a missing father, then they're going to play that father role of what you've always wanted and what you've always missed. That's what makes these people so dangerous. It's not the fact that they're going to kill you, or it's just, they're murderers. Most of them aren't murderers, and most of them don't kill you. What's so dangerous about them is the manipulation and the deceitful tactics they use to manipulate your brain. And they do this to very smart people, architects, engineers, attorneys, and they're all the time they're getting a kick out of it. And you're in a one-sided emotionally bonding relationship where you're just spilling your guts, you're giving it your all, you're just there, you're giving it 110%. But you're giving 110% to a brick wall. There's nothing there. It's just brick and mortar. It's just hard concrete. There's nothing there. They have no emotions for you at all or anything like that. Well, one of the things that love bombing does, it paralyzes your conscious emotional response. It paralyzes that. So you're trusting this person, whereas a normal response to a situation would send you irate, over the board, or even out of the relationship. During the love bombing stage, they have paralyzed your responses to those emotions. You've gained their trust. You all in, 10 toes deep, as people say. So they have paralyzed what you would normally do in a situation when you see behavior that's not consistent with your moral or character, with your morals or characters. So once this is done, and they'll test you, they'll throw something out there and just kind of see where your head is. They're always testing you. They throw words just carelessly out just to see your response. And based on what your response is, they will continue to love bomb you, or they will just go straight into manipulation. After a while in a relationship with a narcissist, you're like, you're complex. That's what people stay in relationships like this for so long, because they were thinking that this person really loved them. So they want to make it work, or they're thinking they're going to get better, or they're thinking it's going to change when they don't. The narcissists don't have the mechanism to make it change, but you're sitting there hoping and valuing this relationship off of what you have inside of you that they don't have. So it takes years for people to actually wake up and see that this is not going to change. And it just depends on also on what type of supply you are for the narcissist. If you're one of those people that just, gonna make it work, gonna try to do anything that you can to make this marriage stick together. If you're not a quitter and you're a survivor and you're a fighter, You could be in a situation for years with a narcissist. You can. And it's totally because of that willpower that you have to love him and to allow him to grow. But he's not going to grow, and he does not love you back. No matter how hard you try and no matter how hard you love, he doesn't love. So he's opened up himself to receive your love, but he cannot reciprocate that back. And it starts popping up. You'll start seeing things. You're like, well, hey, when you start thinking back on a relationship, what? I haven't gotten anything, because it's always a one-sided relationship. You never will get anything. You're giving and giving and giving and giving, but you're not getting what you need. This is the reason why they're called vampires, is because they suck the energy and the emotions out of you constantly. It's a day in and a day out process that they use. So after the love bombing stage, they will not stop the love bombing stage unless you are hook, line, and sinker. It will continue until they feel or they know that they have you at a certain temperature where they can release, where they can let it go, where they can start their intertwining and their manipulation. I always refer to them as puppet masters. They can start pulling strings and making things seem to happen that's not really happening. So be aware, be very aware when you first meet people. If they are too good to be true, they probably definitely are. My daddy, God rest his soul, told me years ago, when you're in the 20s and early 30s and you just kind of think you know everything, or you're just getting your feet planted in life, he told me, he said, Kat, called me Kat, nobody's going to give you anything for free. And he is absolutely right. These people shower you with gifts. They shower you with compliments. They shower you with dreams. Your dreams become their dreams. Anything you've ever wanted to do, hey, they want to do the same thing. Your life goal may have been to open a department store, and I guarantee you, your narcissist is going to be like, well, you know what? I've always wanted to open a department store myself. It's just, if it's too good to be true, guess what? It's too good to be true. Simple. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. So, when you're first in that relationship, ask the hard questions. Really look at that relationship for what it is. See where you want to go in it. If you don't, take your time is the most important thing. Take your time. It takes months for someone to show you who they truly are. A good friend of mine, and he's a business partner of mine, and he always tells me, he said, when you first meet a guy, that the guy's representative shows up, not the guy. So remember that. When you first meet someone, the representative of that person shows up. So that person's going to show you everything they want you to see. But be very leery of those ones that just go overboard with it. I mean, just don't get mad about anything. Just very, very overboard. Just showering you with gifts and loves, and always on your phone, always in your inbox. Just they're pouncing on you, not giving you the room to breathe or to find out, to identify exactly what you're dealing with. So I hope that helped you. That's my segment on love bombing, and it is a bomb. Once everything kicks off, it is a bomb, especially if you're dealing with narcissistic abuse, whether covert or overt. Abuse is abuse, and we want you to be healthy. We want your mind to be alert, and we want you to be emotionally stable to not get caught up in love bombing, or at least identify what it is. It is KB here. I'm giving you the KB experience. It's been a wonderful thing. Please go visit my website at www.gamechangers.expert. Changers with an S. .expert. Also check out my YouTube channel, which you're on now. Like, ring that bell, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day and love yourself.